Central Valley PC. It's been a while. I haven't been able to make any videos as of recent, just because I've been really busy. And busy is good. Anybody who owns a small business understands that. Anytime you are too stacked to share stories, other than the quick blip on Instagram or Facebook, that's a good thing. So the rapport has been building. People have been coming in, a lot of referrals. So that's fantastic, and that's looks like it's working, and that's really just hard work, man. That's no secret. That's no strange anomaly there. It's not a bunch of advertisement money that a lot of people will throw, because advertisement money certainly works. We all know that. We buy the gimmicks. That's how pizza sells. We know Little Caesars is trash, right? But for $5, you can't beat it, and the commercial keeps flowing. So I never want to be the Little Caesars of IT and tech support, but I don't mind the little jobs, the real simple stuff. Like, hey, my printer stopped working. A lot of IT guys get so high up on their horse that they think they're too good for that stuff. And I noticed that because I get a phone call kind of after somebody has been referred to someone else. And hey, I found a guy, in Visalia, and he said he could do this, but either the price was too high or his availability wasn't soon enough. And a lot of times it's just because the job isn't that challenging. So there are people, especially in our field of IT and tech support, and any type of customer service forward focused role, where you look at it like, man, it's stupid. I make the customer wait. It's not an emergency. You're so focused because you had a big grouping of those jobs where that's stuff that you put on the back burner because it's easy. And those customers kind of get left out in the wind. And because of me picking up a lot of those customers, I've been able to build a rapport with them and then help them in their small businesses. Because everybody here in Exeter owns a small business of some kind. And most of the people that I've ran into, they're not working 9 to 5s at other companies. Most of them are running their own small business, whether it's real estate, tax preparation, farms, obviously everywhere. Everywhere out here is farms. So a lot of guys they're serving some sort of function in agriculture. And where I come in is there are machines and there are things that do run uh, by way of computerization. So even an old laptop, sometimes these old Dell desktops that are 15 years old that have a real specific software on there. Now the machine's just running like trash and it's not letting the packing sorter do its job or whatnot. Those are the jobs that I really have fun with because they are new endeavors. They're things I've never worked on, but computers are computers are computers. No matter what shape, form, or whatever you put them in, casing and whatnot, whatever label, manufacturer, it all does the same thing. There's a chipset telling a group of controls what to do. And so that's kind of how I break everything down. And that's why I'm able to kind of fix a lot of things. So in doing so, today's video really was about the things that help me offer that service. And one of them is my mobile credit card reader. And fantastically enough, PayPal has come out with a series of good readers over the years. A lot of people love Square. I had Square and I hated it. I hated the fact that like I had to wait 3 days, sometimes 5 days for my money, and I didn't like that. PayPal got my money like that, and I'm a small guy, so I need my money that day, usually. Uh, and with PayPal, a lot of that was really simple. I had already been using PayPal forever. I called up the other day and I had a real issue, and customer service at PayPal has vastly changed. It used to be kind of a pain in the ass, but PayPal realizes that they maybe had needed to work on that because they were getting a lot of complaints. I mean, if you look on their Facebook page, holy crap, people had a lot of complaints. I was one of them. I know it. But since then, it looks like they've changed things up a lot. I'm having a problem with my second or third generation PayPal Here reader, and this one does everything. I actually love this device. So it's got the swiper on the top, and I'll turn it on real quick here so you see it boot up. And it takes a little while. That's one of the only hangups about it because it's a mini computer and it reads credit cards, it's encrypted, it does all of that, but it's got the chip reader on the bottom. It's so awesome because a lot of customers now, most of them have a card with a chip on it. Um, and it does work. This one also does take the tap, even though PayPal says it doesn't, it does. But there's a new one they sent me because the battery on this stopped charging. I don't know what happened. I had a problem the same day or the same week, this thing stopped charging right, and I finally got it to take a charge after changing uh, from charging off of a USB charger to charging off of this laptop. Maybe lowering the amount of amperage would allow the battery to kind of reboot, to start the process of allowing a charge to take hold. Because certainly at 2.1 it wasn't doing it, but these old USB 2.0 ports on this laptop, eh, it should have worked fine, and it did. It did. It took a couple of tries, but as you can see now, I've got a full battery. So it's kind of back to normal, but it's cool. But this thing works by Bluetooth, so there's no wires and whatnot, other than when you need to charge. And there's that. Let's see if I can. There's a little charging port. There's a little dock connections there. So there's a little dock that they have that you can plug it into. Now I've got some Velcro on this because I have a whole other story to that, and that's where this printer comes in. But I'll talk about that in a second. But this PayPal reader has been really good to me over the last year. Customers love it. I break it out because they think I only take cash, and I'm like, no, I'm not a crackhead. Like, I take a card. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I break this out, turn it on, tag it to my phone, and I picked up one of those ZTE, ZMAX, whatever the hell's giant phone, because the other phone I had, the screen was small, and older people have a hard time signing on small screens. I picked up this one, and it's like a 5.5, 5.7 inch screen. So when the signature pad comes on, when you're running your payment through PayPal, it's really easy now for them to write their signature, and I love that because it's easy for them, it's easy for me. They can read it, and a lot of people, the older you get, you have eye problems. So I have to account for that. I'm not working in the realm of dealing with a bunch of young millennials who are like, perfect in vision and health. Like, no, a lot of us are getting older. So a big ass phone helps out a lot. So when your customer needs to see something visually, bang, bring it up. Buy a big phone if you don't have one. I get a lot of compliments. Oh, wow, look at that. And they could see it and they could write. It's perfect. Greatest thing about that, too, is I can email them a receipt. Some people don't like to give me their emails. Hell if I know why, but they don't. So I say, cool. And that's where this comes in. And I'm going to probably start buying some of these and reprogramming them, because according to the interwebs, these do not function with PayPal here. I can tell you that's a lie. It works. And I could reprogram these. So they're pretty easy. But I figured, let me monetize this just a little bit, see if a few people are interested in getting a mobile printing system instead of paying $300 for the Woo Sims. And there's another company that has one specifically catering towards PayPal, but it's out of most people's price range. A $300 paper printer just doesn't make any sense. This is pretty cheap. You can find these on Amazon for anywhere from 35 to 50 bucks in a newer version of it, but they all work on the same software, and the software is key to making this work with PayPal. I can do that. If you are thinking of purchasing one and want to send it to me, or I can charge over the phone and walk you through the process. I've got to come up with a way to make this happen because I absolutely love having this mobile printing. And the reason why there's Velcro on the back of this and this is I've got that two-way Velcro that snaps together. Check this out. I was thinking of a way to have my printing device and my credit card reader all in one. And with that two-way Velcro, first off, the glue is amazing. But second, without any straps or anything, it connects just fine. So I can have your credit card in my hand, turn on both of these, sync it through Bluetooth, and this also connects perfectly fine because this runs off of PayPal here. So this talks to the PayPal setup and sends a signal or sends the receipt file over to this printer. And this crappy little printer does a fantastic job. Even if you want to go back and print old transactions through PayPal here, still works. That's pretty awesome. And especially for tax season and whatnot, a lot of people need that. Or if a customer says, hey, can you shoot me a receipt for that? Yeah, you can do it. You don't have to go through the print work or print up a whole giant sheet on your printer. Save yourself the hassle. Thermal printing, no ink. Fantastic. So I'm going to work on that. I'll post it up on the website. and I will come up with a way to monetize this. But in the meanwhile, have faith. There is a way to print off of PayPal here. Now, because this device started acting funny on me, I called and complained, had the sweetest person on the phone, best customer service I've ever had at PayPal. And they actually sent me their new device. Check this thing out. So this comes with a little cradle and some sticky tape on the back of it. But this is the tap and read, or the tap and chip reader. So this is the new 2017-2018 one. It's got the little PayPal logo on the back of it. It does USB charging here through the other Android USB, micro USB port here. That is not the cable. I know I have one. There it is. There we go. So I have a bunch of these. However, because a lot of phones are changing to the new 3.0 plug, you are going to have to make sure that you don't lose these, because these devices come with it. And that's either one of them, but this kind of sucks. A lot of these devices have the older charging port, the micro USB one, which is this. Everybody who has an Android has owned this cord, still has one laying around. But if you've upgraded recently to a new phone, a lot of those new phones have the new 3.0 micro USB. It's a totally different platform. So that makes your cables obsolete for anything other than these. So that's where you might run into problems if you don't have it. So keep these cables around. Don't let these go, just because when you buy a new phone, your new phone might, whether it's Apple or Android, using those new cables, the devices such as headphones, like my beloved Skull Candy, these headphones actually use that same port. So you have a lot of other devices other than your phone now that are still using the old school, quote unquote old school micro USB cable, and not the new 3.0, 3.1, whatever that is. So keep that cable. Don't lose it, because if you order one of these PayPal devices, let me get that straight here. If you order one of these or any one of those, they send you a cable, but like we all know, those cables get damaged. So I have a million of them, and half of them work. I'm not even kidding. I have them everywhere. I have them in my car. I'm looking at a pile of them right now that my fiance Danielle just asked me, why are they on the table? And I said, I don't know. And so I got to fix that. But I even keep one of the cables for her phone in my car. She has the Apple, whatever the hell version this is. I keep one of these because there are some devices, Apple devices, that may require it, and I never know when I'm going to need it. So the point to that is keep your legacy USB cables, because if you are a small business owner and you're thinking about buying a PayPal here device, and you're going to need that. So it comes with one, of course, but it's a short cable, and if you need something longer and you already have one long, that sounds dirty. If you have a long cable, you dirty bastards, you can use that, and that'll work just fine on this device. But supposedly the battery life is fantastic. The woman I spoke with at PayPal who hooked this up for me, she actually did a pretty awesome thing. What she did was she let me order it, and then she immediately reimbursed me for the charge, and said if I didn't like this one, I could send it back and I could get another replacement of that PayPal here device that I already had, because that one's $79. This one's $59, and then there's a $29.99 version, which is just a chip reader, if I'm not mistaken, or chip and slide, but it doesn't do anything else. So it doesn't do the tap part. And this allows you to take Apple Play, Android Play, some of those systems. I've only had one customer actually use the tap feature on the other device, and I thought that was pretty cool. But at the same time, most of my customers, I'm not, my target demographic are not people that are going to be doing that. So that's kind of like the future for them. So I don't want to scare them off with that shit. So I'm not pushing that. I'm not trying to move my customers into the next generation of technology. I just need them to pay me. So these systems allow you to do that. 2.7% per charge. with it. If not, it's 3.5%. If you don't have a PayPal here and you just run a credit card through the PayPal here app, you can still take the payment. You don't need this. It's just they're taking 3.5% of each charge. So it's way cheaper. Have this in the long run, you save money. I have absolutely loved my PayPal here device. It tells you once it's actually on now. It tells you go ahead and open the app. Once it syncs up, I mean, it's really it's an awesome platform. If you haven't used it, or if you're skeptical of using it, or if everybody's convinced you that the Square system is the only way to go, that's not true. I like PayPal setup because it's really easy. There's no frills. Goes on your phone. It opens up. Hell, I'll show you. You can even set how do you say preset charges on it, like a cash register, and you can do it on the tablet too. It actually looks a lot better on a tablet, so there is functionality for that. The cash register system works. So any cash register, USB cash register will work with it, even though they say it's only certain ones. From what I understand, you can set up quite a few. They're not. It's not rocket science. It's just PayPal's way of monetizing every nook and cranny of the device. But I'm loading it in now. What I like too is that if you have a fingerprint reader on your phone, you can actually use that and sync your fingerprint with the app itself. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I like it a lot. And so here it's asking me, since it's already, well, you can't see that because of the sunlight, but there we go. That's a little better. So there, it gives you a little symbol. It tells you last card reader used was a PayPal here, 101-91185, and then it says connect. And so I'm going to hit connect, but the thing is off, so it shouldn't be able to connect to it. I'm not going to turn it on because there's no point in that. I'm not killing the battery, but it's a super cool system to use. My only hangup is that because there's no screen on this one, you're kind of like hope you know it's on because there's an LED, and you just have to let the phone tell you everything that's happening with it, which is fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. But I got so used to seeing that if I didn't have a connection with my PayPal here device, that my reader can tell me, because it's a smart machine. So it has a screen on it, and it'll tell you, hey, I'm not connected, Bluetooth failed, whatever, battery dead. It tells you all of those things. Whereas this one only blinks and flashes. So that's why it's a little cheaper. It's a little simpler. So pick your poison, really. But overall, for credit card readers and how do you say, ease of access and ease of ensuring that you just get your payment without any hassle, you really can't beat PayPal. I've been with them over, oh man, 14 years, I think. Yeah, I think it's been about 14 years. And obviously they don't endorse me, they don't pay me for any of this. I've been using them so long, because I would buy and sell on eBay, like everybody who got into eBay back in the day. But PayPal has always been a part of my life, so I don't mind it. I like it, and I like giving them a shot. But when I use this stuff, I like that it works. The one time this let me down was when the battery died on me on scene, and I was like, wow, I really needed this credit card machine to work, because I just told that lady I'll take a credit card because she wanted to cut me a check. And I don't like taking checks because there's a 50-50 chance that, it won't clear. Luckily here in the Central Valley, most people are pretty stand-up. I've only had one check bounce on me. And I don't like to take that risk. It's not a lot of money, so it'll cost me more to get it rectified in driving around and trying to, recoup that money and whatnot. But at the same time, I don't want to go through that process. I'd rather get paid immediately, know the money is there, and then move on. And a lot of people don't pay me in cash, so it's card, almost always, or checks. I get checks. But there are ways to make this system work for you, and I think that there's ill-advised marketing, and there's a lot of misinformation. There's a big gap of information, that's a better way to put it, where people who get into PayPal here and whatnot, they only tell you this is what it costs and this is what it does. And there's like, what can it do? Like, what are your other options? Like, if you want a system that's going to immediately integrate your payment system, and this is the difference between Square. Square isn't a financial platform the way PayPal is. Uh, Square takes your money and then takes a while to disperse it to you. And I believe Square has a card. uh, I don't know, but I trust PayPal's a bigger company. They're going to have their money. Most banks have let me down. PayPal hasn't. PayPal, your money's there, and if they have a problem, say you made it. I had a purchase recently through an ad on Instagram for a promo little drone for like $15. It was like a giveaway, and I said, "Cool, I did it. Nothing ever happened." Turns out it was a scam. I was like, "All right." I called PayPal. They let me submit a claim, and it took like 3 weeks, and I got my money back. So it does everything a bank does, and I use that card constantly. I get great customer service out of them now. Other than before, it sucked. I'm not gonna lie. You called them up before, you had some issues, but now I don't know. The last two times, fantastic interactions. They really helped me out, and it could be my longevity with them. I've stuck with them for so long. Maybe they stick me in a tier two queue with nicer reps. Who the hell knows? But either way, I would say if you're looking for a payment system and you're a little guy, and small business owner or whatever, you're selling bikes out of your garage or whatever it is, you're building little wooden ducks, whatever it is, and you need to take payments, look at PayPal. I know there's a lot of crazy PayPal. There's a lot of payment systems out there that promise you these low rates and all that, but how long do they hold your money for? That's the key, because they're making money on your money. PayPal doesn't seem to have a chance to make money on my money because it usually moves to my checking account but I make those things happen pretty immediately. But I like that I have immediate access to it. I can see exactly what's happening to the money at all times. Um, it's got merchant account capabilities with the simplicity of a PayPal account, and so definitely keep an eye on that if that's what you're looking for. If you have any questions, post them down below in the comments. I'll answer anything I can, and I'm gonna probably make a little follow-up video to some products here, like a 1-year review on things that I've been using for a while that I love. And I do want to give a shout out to Teespring for the new shirts. I love them. They're awesome. They got my logo on the back, phone number, the whole nine. It's like a walking billboard. And they were dirt cheap. Holy crap. But they fit well. They're a little tight because I'm fat, whatever. I'm a big dude. Cacao. But I get it. But I like the shirts. These are the Tri-Blends by Next Level. And they fit nice. They're a little tight like a toiga. But I just need to shave off a couple pounds and they'll fit nice. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, again, post them down below. And I look forward to coming back and making some more videos. I got another one coming soon. And actually, I'm going to make it right now about these products. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.